In the last video we fixed the main faults in this car out, and if you want to take a look, there's a link up above. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Hi guys, welcome back. So we're going to start off modifying my cheap Audi S4 using some Temu parts on it. A few of these smaller things at the front then we're going to move on to doing later, but first of all we're going to start off with the bigger things and get them out of the way. Right, let's get on with it. Inside of this box then, I've got another grille to go on to replace this one because it's not really to my taste. It's starting to look a little bit dated, faded, and all the silver's starting to chip off with, you know, little black dots on it, so it doesn't really look great. I'm going to go for the black kidney grille. I know it's kind of the obligatory sort of Audi thing that you put a black honeycomb grille on it. I do kind of like silver, but black's a little bit more my sort of taste anyway. The fog light covers as well is still the factory ones and they don't match either, so I've got some other fog light cover grills in here that I'm going to be replacing these with, so they kind of match the grill and the fog light covers, and I think that will look a lot better. So to do this we need to start off by taking the front bumper off so we can get behind the grill and the fog light covers to change them out. To get the front bumper off, there are about 4 T30 bolts on the top that we need to undo and a few T30s underneath. Followed by that, on each side there are about 3 bolts. 2 10mm that hold it on the wing from underneath and 1 10mm that goes through the wing into the bumper at each side. After that we can pull it straight off and unclip the fog lights. Okay, so now I've got the front bumper off, I'm going to take this S4 badge off and I'm going to also put that on the new grille, get the Audi badge off and the number plate, probably going to need that. Now that we've got all of that off, all we need to do to get the grille off is remove all the T25 bolts around the outside of the grille and we should be able to pull it off. I did run into an issue where one of them actually rounded off, but I managed to get around by drilling it out, tapping another socket into it, and it managed to just crack off, luckily enough. After that, removing the front tray as well, and I just had to drill another couple out. So the grille's all unbolted now, I can pull it straight off. I've also unbolted this along the front here because I'm going to take that silver bit off and I'm going to wrap it. But first, I'm going to get this old grille off and put the new one on. Okay, so now I've got that on, I'm also going to take this off because I think the silver on it doesn't really go with the black on it. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, everyone does a black honeycomb grille, but I think it looks good, so it's probably why so many people do it, and I much prefer it to the silver one, to be honest. I think it's going to make it look a lot cleaner in my opinion, but leave a comment down below what you think to it. But please remember though, it is my car and it's to my taste. It might not be everyone's taste, but I think the black looks better. I'm going to leave the Audi badge in silver though, but I'm going to take this silver bit off the bottom now and wrap it in black because it doesn't quite match the rest of it, and I think it will look better when that's wrapped in black and all we've got is like a silver Audi badge and an S4 badge on the front of it. That brings me on to what we're also going to be doing next. I'm going to be doing some of this to black out the trims on the car. Now I know that the wrap that I've actually got is too small, but I'm just improvising and going with what I've got because I'm sure that underneath the car this is going to be more than fine. Now that's done, all that's left to do is put it back together. There we go then, it might not look perfect, but it's a lot better. I wish I'd wrap in the correct size for it, so I just had to double it up. And I don't think you're going to notice it underneath the car anyway, because like it is now, I don't think you could even tell. But to me, it looks a lot better in silver. We're not going to stop there though, so I'm going to put the badge back on here, S4 badge on, and there's another badge that I've got down here. So I've run into my first issue. I bought this one that was going to wire, it's like a light sort of one, and it's too small for the grille, so it's not going to fit. So I've had to take the silver one off the other grille, the old grille, quickly clean it up, and then I'll put it on here. This grille came with a black badge, but I'm not ticking on that. I want to keep the Audi badge silver anyway. You'll see why in a minute, but you know, it's unfortunate that won't fit, but I'll save it for someone else anyway, maybe. Some of you might notice that the washer jet nozzle on this side is actually missing. All the washer fluid's just going out of it straight away, so I've ordered another one, and while I've got the bumper off, I'm going to put it on. All I needed to do was remove the front air duct that was in the way, press a couple of clips in, I removed the pipe on the back, and it literally came straight out. Now that's fixed, let's put the bumper back on. Now I don't know about you, but I think that this looks loads better. Okay, so unfortunately I have got some bad news about these. These honeycomb ones that I've ordered for the fog light covers aren't actually for this car. I think they're for a non-S line or maybe like a different car, like a S5 or something like that. So this is meant to be for this side. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't fit. And if you can look at them, they look different anyway. So what I'm going to have to do for now is put the standard ones back on and order the correct set. You know, it is what it is in a day. It is a shame that these things don't always fit, but when you're ordering stuff for Temu, you never know what you're going to get, and at least they're roughly the same size. They could have been about that big. On the plus side though, at least they're easy to pull on and off. So for now, I'm just going to leave these on and then order some of them, and then when they're here, I'll put them on, and I'll have to show you anyway. For now, we're going to leave these on, put the number plate back on, and then move on to all of the other bits. There we go then. So for now, I think it looks a lot better with the black grille, but when these come, just pull them off, put the others on. It's not the end of the world, but before I move on, I'm going to top the screen wash up, and then we could do the other bits. What we're going to do now then is replace this awfully lack appeal spoiler on the back of it. I could probably paint it, but I want to replace it with an RS4 style spoiler one, so I've already painted that, and that's what we're going to be replacing it with. So apparently it's not meant to fit these, it's meant to just fit an all-road or something like that. But I think all we need to do to fit it is take this one off, and it should literally fit straight on. I'm also going to follow up with removing the rear wiper blade from the car. This was actually quite a bit harder to remove than I originally thought, and I was probably a bit too aggressive with it, and if I'm honest, you need to be quite careful with it or you'll end up making the same mistake I did. Right, so it's come off, but I've had a bit of a mishap. I've broken one corner off, so that other one best fit.
When I was a kid, I was a phenom. When I was a kid, I was a beast. I pull up, then I be gone.
Now then, we're going to absolutely coat that in Tiger Seal, and then we can put the spoiler on top of it, put some bricks on it, leave it overnight. But hang on a minute. So I was planning on sticking it down, but my Tiger Seal is pretty much completely gone. Most of it's dried up, and it's kind of ruined what I had planned, and everywhere's shut now. I would usually just go and get some more, but unfortunately it's a Sunday and everywhere's closed now. So unfortunately, Tesco Express doesn't exactly sell Tiger Seal. Okay, so we're back. I've got some more Tiger Seal, but first, let's go on with the wiper delete.
I'm athletic.
To get the rear wiper off, what I need to do then is take this plastic surrounding off, which is held down with a few T25s, some plastic clips, and it pulls straight off. Once I've got that off, I've just got to disconnect the electrical connection from the washer, undo some 10mm bolts on the back of it, as well as undoing the blade and pulling it off.
I'll be way up in the moon.
And now we're ready to put the blanking plug in with a bit of sealant and then blanking off the washer line.
I might go forever, go for eons. Friend like you don't be on. When I was a kid, I was a phenom.
Now what I'm going to do then is I'm going to dechrome all of the silver trims around the windows and on the roof. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but on the roof those are pretty scuffed up, and it's probably just going to be easy to wrap them in black as well, and personally I prefer the look of it. You're also going to be happy that I'm going to be leaving the mirrors in silver because that's like an S or an RS thing, and quite like that to be fair, so leaving the mirrors as they are. And I've also got some indicators that I'm going to put in here, so dynamic indicators, so these would usually flash like just in a normal pattern. Dynamic ones I've got to put in, they kind of go side to side, so I'll show you that in a minute anyway as well. What I've got is a couple of rolls of gloss black vinyl wrap, so all I'm going to do is go over all the silver trims in a gloss black vinyl wrap, and I might have shot myself in the foot because the roof rails, I'm not entirely sure if this larger one's going to cover it, but if it doesn't we'll find a way around it and we can just kind of patch it at the back anyway is what I was thinking, because that way you're not really going to see the back of them anyway and you're only really going to see the front, aren't you? So if it doesn't entirely go over it, we'll make it work. I've also ordered myself like a vinyl wrap kit off eBay just to try and make it a little bit easier. So this is meant to basically tuck the trims under here. So under here we're going to try and put it close to that and tuck it under the lip basically. And in here there's a couple of tools that are meant to tuck it under. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use them, but I guess I'll have to figure it out. First of all then, I'm going to start with the roof rails. Going to clean all around the edges here, make sure everything's nice and clean, and then we can start to lay this down. Once everything was clean, I put some masking tape down to make sure that I didn't scratch anything. After that, I cut it all to length and started to put it down. It's a bit tricky at first, but once I got my head around it, it wasn't too bad. After I put it down, I started trying to work the majority share of it in using just my fingers, and then trying to tuck it under using a squidgy to get it all properly stuck under and tucked away. Now what I need to do then is trim it off around the edge, and then I can try and tuck it under. You know, so far I'm actually pretty impressed with how it looks, but now it's time for our special tool that we got. So I'm going to run along here and try and tuck it under that. So now I've done the back of it, I had to patch up a little bit down here because I made a mistake and I cut through too close so you could see the silver through it. But I've patched it up now and you couldn't even tell. Now that's done, we've got to do the ones around the outside the window. So that's one of them down, and that probably took me at least half an hour to do because I messed it up twice and basically cut it too close a couple of times, but this one looks fine now. But I've kind of figured the technique out a bit, so hopefully the rest of them should be a little bit easier. On camera then it may look like it's really quick, but this is not quick at all. This has taken me a good few hours to get to this point and I still haven't quite done it yet. But I'm at the last little bit now on the back, so all I need to do is trim this in here, and then down here there's like a little break off point. I'm going to cut this strip off in, tuck that in, and then we're going to get a slightly larger strip basically to put on the lower bit, tuck all of that in, fold it in, and then what we're going to do is put the spoiler on tonight, let that set overnight. I didn't put it on earlier just in case while I was tucking this in I knocked it out of place before it had fully cured, and then tomorrow once we've done that we're going to move on and do the other side. That last little bit then was probably the worst bit, if completely honest. It was so tricky trying to get inside of that corner there to wrap it under the rubber and inside of the back of it. But it's done now. I know it may not be perfect, but it does look a lot better than silver and it's not too noticeable anyway. I'm happy with it, and if it passes the 2 metre test then it's all okay. I think that looks a lot better. Yes, it's not perfect, but I much prefer it in black. Anyway, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Now then, it's time to get that spoiler on. It was all going so well, and then I had a little think and I realised something. Behind me then, you're probably wondering why the spoiler's not on. Well, it didn't actually fit properly, so I had a think the other night, and I sat there thinking, oh, that doesn't look quite right at all. And I kind of realised why that is, so let me show you. This spoiler here has like a cutout basically for the third brake light on here, as you can see, so that would go like that. And that doesn't look too bad right now, so if the worst case comes to it, I can just put that back on for a little bit. But it's not the end of the world. I'll try and scrape some of it off, but I didn't really want to let it dry overnight, so I literally thought about a couple hours after I stuck it down, I thought I've got to take that spoiler off, so I've just pulled it off. Doesn't look great, but the spoiler's going to cover it anyway, and all it's doing, it's sitting above it like that. To me, that doesn't look quite right, you know. I mean, I could have stuck it down, but I just think it looks absolutely awful. It just looks cheap and nasty, and you know, with this, it's like one of those things that you want to do properly and do it once. That's why I've covered it in Tiger Seal, so I thought I'll pull it off while I've got a chance and, you know, get back to it basically to try and make it fit right. So on the one that's come off it, I've realised it's kind of like angled up and it's hollow inside. This one is pretty much like hollow basically, so what I can try and do to get around it is cut the middle out of that one so it's like this, and then making a little slot in it for the third brake light. Might be a bit sketchy, but I've got nothing to lose at this point. It looks like a shoddy job right now, but we're going to fix it. But first, I'm going to finish off dechroming down this side so that it matches the other, and it's pretty much exactly the same, just flipped around. So I'm not going to make you sit here and wait for all of that. Okay, so here's where I'd love to tell you that I've finished this side, but as you can probably see, I haven't because I've run out of vinyl wrap, so I'm going to have to order some more of that. I've only managed to do the roof rail and 2 of the doors, so let's try that again. That's not working, so we'll try that another time, but for now, we're going to get on with the spoiler. But on the plus side, I have got the other grills to put on, so let's get them on. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that they complete the front end. Okay, so what we're going to start off doing on the spoiler is cutting out the hollow bit in the middle, and then we can move on to doing the third brake light cut on here. But first, I want to check how far back we can go so we can check how thick that actually is, so we know how deep we can go. So we're going to start off here, work our way back, and then do the third brake light. So I've got the Dremel out and I started trying to cut a pocket away inside of it to see how far I could actually go into it. After I cut the pocket out, I knew how deep I had to go, so I cut from one end all the way along to the other. After that, all that was left to do was trim up all of the edges and try and make it fit. Right, finally after cutting away all of the inside and trimming up all the edges and trying my best to make it fit, this isn't going to fit to the car, and I'll show you why. I've even gone to the extent of trimming away here, so if I push it back like this as well, you can see at the back it sits far too far back, and even before I've done that, the problem was down here, this part is going straight on it. To be honest then, I'm not entirely happy with how it's fitting. I spent a lot of time trying to cut away the edges and trying to fit it in, but I just still don't think it's going to look right, and sometimes that's a risk you take when you buy these cheap aftermarket things. I could probably whack a load of Target seal under it, not worry about it, but I think it just looked awful. Looking at it at the back as well, it just doesn't look right at all in my opinion. It looks a bit shoddy and bodged, and then I was thinking if I cut out this third brake light here as well, it's still going to have an overhang, so it might just be easier to leave it for now and get another spoiler. It's not an ideal scenario, but I like to try and do things the right way. Things don't always go to plan, but sometimes you just got to take a chance. It would have been better to have trial fitted it before putting all the Tiger Seal on it, this, that, the other. I know it's not a perfect scenario, but I've given it a go, and that's the main thing. To me then, it just doesn't fit right at all, and I'm not going to waste any more time on it. Yes, I could whack a load of Tiger Seal around it, but I'd still have to cut out a third brake light, and I just think it's going to look naff. So what I'll probably do for now is just temporarily double-sided sticky tape that other one back on it, leave it off, and I have actually seen an RS4 spoiler, like an OEM one that I want to buy for it, 150 quid, put that on it, nice and easy, job done. For now, we're going to leave it though. But it's not all bad. On the plus side, I have actually got some more black vinyl tape to finish off the trims down the side of the windows. Yes, it's not off Temu. I've literally ordered some eBay because I didn't really feel like waiting 2 or 3 weeks for some more vinyl wrap, and this took 2 or 3 days, so I wanted to get it done, so I just thought I'm going to go for that. Anyway, let's get on with it and get them done. Right, let's try that again then. There we go. So now that's done, let's move on and do the indicators and the mirrors. Right, so here's the indicator I was actually going to be putting in, and going to judge by what it should look like. It's the first time I got them out of the box anyway. And comparing them, I think they're off a different car. So I think these are off a facelift B8, so like a B8.5 or something. But these aren't going to fit in there, unfortunately. It is what it is sometimes. But so out of a few of the things I've ordered that hasn't actually fitted, fog light covers were the wrong ones. They didn't fit at all. The rear spoiler on it didn't fit. That was probably on me, trying to make it something work that probably shouldn't have worked anyway. And ordering these, even though they said it would fit these and probably most other Audis out there, it doesn't fit them because they're completely different. It's what it is sometimes, but it's not the end of the world. We'll leave them. I might try and get another set, but I've got a feeling I might get sent the same things again. It is what it is. But on the plus side, the front end now looks really good, and I've blacked out all silver trims on it, so I'm more than happy with that. In reality then, it doesn't always go to plan. Like I say, I've tried to make that spoiler fit, it hasn't worked at all, but I'm going to order the OEM RS4 one for it because I think that's just going to, you know, tick all the boxes for me. But for now, I'm going to put the old one back on just to cover up the mess I've left under there. I did actually have a diffuser for this as well on its way, but it hasn't actually arrived yet, so we're going to have to cover that at a later date in another video. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is, put it back to standard, and then next time we're going to move on to doing the interior because I've got another interior for it that I want to be putting in it, and I think that's going to make a huge difference overall to this because the interior in it, it's not heated, it's kind of suede, it looks a bit dated, and I think it's like a normal S-line interior. So I've got like another interior to put in that, which I think is going to make a huge difference. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, tap down below, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you in a bit.